They placed the two girls in front of me like cattle. Their wrists were bound. Their dark hair was tangled with dust. Their eyes, sharp, fiery, and filled with hatred, were locked not on the men who captured them, but on me, the one who was supposed to own them now. They're twins, the captain smirked proudly, clapping my back. A reward for your service to the army, Tom. Do with them what you wish. Reward. As if 2 human lives were nothing more than a trophy. I looked at the girls, no older than 18. One trembled with fear, the other stood rigid, ready to lunge if her hands were free. That one's a fighter, the captain laughed. Break her spirit early. His words hit me like a bullet. Break her spirit. I had spent years fighting in a war where men tried to break each other's spirits. I was tired of chains, even invisible ones. I nodded stiffly, pretending to accept their gift. But inside, something twisted my gut. As soon as the soldiers left, silence fell like a heavy blanket. The girls glared at me, their breathing sharp, like cornered wolves. I knelt and loosened the ropes on their hands. The fierce twin jerked back, eyes wide with suspicion. The quieter one whispered, why do you free us? I don't own people, I replied. Not now, not ever. Chapter 1, Fear and Defiance. Their names were Alakwa and Tallulah. Alakwa, the fierce one, kept distance, watching every move I made. She didn't trust humans, especially not me. Tallulah stayed close to her sister, fingers brushing her arm whenever fear crept in. I fed them, gave them my small cabin behind the fort to sleep in. At night, I heard them whisper fears of what I might do. One evening, Alakwa finally spoke. What do you want from us? Her voice was sharp as flint. Nothing, I answered truthfully. No white man wants nothing, she spat. Then I'm no good man, I exhaled. Her eyes softened, just slightly. But trust, that was still a long way away. Chapter 2, A Fragile Peace. Days turned into weeks. Tallulah began humming while sorting food. Little glimmers of peace appeared in her eyes. Alakwa, however, trained behind the cabin every dawn, punching air and sharpening sticks like weapons. I admired her fire. One evening, she confronted me again. Why did you join a war that takes land not yours? Her question pierced deeper than she knew. I thought I was doing the right thing, I murmured. But each order I followed felt wrong. I couldn't stop the war, but I can stop hurting people now. She looked at me for a long time. No hatred, just heavy sorrow. You cannot undo what was done to our family, she whispered. Tears shimmered in her eyes but did not fall. I didn't force comfort on her. I simply sat there, present. Sometimes presence is the healing. Chapter 3, When Hell Returned. One afternoon, a squad of soldiers came pounding on my door. Where are the Apache girls, Tom? My heart dropped. Alakwa grabbed Tallulah, ready to bolt. I stepped in front of them. They're under my protection. That's not how it works, the captain growled. They're property of the fort. Not anymore, I said firmly. Guns aimed, threats echoed. I felt every bone in my body tremble, but I didn't move. Alakwa's hand brushed my elbow, a silent thank you. The captain glared coldly. Tomorrow, we take them back. And you, Tom, you'll face punishment for disobedience. As they left, Tallulah started crying, quiet, shaking tears. We should have run, she sobbed. No, I answered, I'll not let them cage you again. Alakwa stared at me as if seeing me for the first time, not as a soldier, not as a captor, but as a man willing to sacrifice something. Chapter 4, The Escape. Night fell thick and silent. We packed what little we could carry. Before leaving, Alakwa placed a hand on my chest. Why risk your life? Because freedom must belong to everyone, I replied. She nodded, accepting, not trust, not love, but respect. We fled west, guided by moonlight and Tallulah's memories of old trails. With every step, danger stalked behind us. By dawn, we reached a river. Their homeland was still days away. Suddenly, gunshots cracked the air. They followed us, Tallulah cried. The captain shouted from the hill. Tom, step aside, we'll just take the girls. I drew my rifle, heart pounding like a drum of war. If you want them, I yelled, you'll have to go through me. The captain smirked. Killing a traitor is easy. He fired. The bullet grazed my shoulder. I collapsed. Alakwa screamed, not in fear. In fury, she charged toward the river, forcing Tallulah ahead. The sisters leapt into the water, disappearing behind rocks and wild vines. By the time the soldiers reached the shore, they were gone. I lay bleeding, but I smiled. They were free. Final chapter, a promise kept. I survived the wound. They discharged me from the army, for treason. Good. I spent years wondering if the sisters made it safely home. Whether they ever thought of the soldier who chose humanity over orders. One morning, while tending my quiet ranch, I heard footsteps. 2 women stood by the gate. Tall, strong, with proud Apache braids. Alakwa and Tallulah, alive, free, radiant. Alakwa approached first, chin high. You kept your promise, she said softly. Tallulah wrapped her arms around me, unexpected, gentle. You gave us life again. I swallowed my tears. You saved mine, too. Alakwa smiled, full and genuine this time. We came to tell you, you will always have a place among our people. The sun warmed our faces as we stood together, 3 souls once broken by war. Now rebuilt by a single choice. Not to own, but to free. Message for the audience. Freedom is never a gift. It is a right, and sometimes, the greatest courage isn't fighting a war. It is choosing to protect someone others call worthless.